America Meditating Radio Show, we collect wisdom, inspire each other, and empower hearts 24/7. Hi, I'm Sister Jenna. Join me and guest on Blog Talk Radio as we amplify stories that compel us to be more for ourselves and everyone else around us. Do you like to meditate? Have you tried to meditate? Have you struggled with meditation? Why don't you visit one of the Brahma Kumaris Meditation Center? Visit brahmakumaris.org. The Meditation Museum in Silver Spring, Maryland offers a variety of courses and activities to make your life go a whole lot smoother. Located at 9525 Georgia Avenue, you will be able to experience the beautiful silence that's in the space. There are courses in Raj Yoga meditation, positive thinking, stress-free living, and personal development classes. For more information, call us at 301-588-0144 or visit us online at meditationmuseum.org.
Hello, I'm Bobby Fleischer, co-author with Thelma Reese of the book, The New Senior Woman, Reinventing the Years Beyond Midlife, and also creator with Thelma Reese of the blog elderchicks.com. I love listening to America Meditate radio show with Sister Jenna.
Get off the grid and step inside your heart. Sister Jenna guides you through a powerful, encouraging, and motivating meditation that allows you to let go and become aware of you, regain strength, power, and peace.
Write thank you notes. Tell the truth all the time. These motivating thoughts from Randy Pausch's last lecture remind each of us to live our dreams. Be creative every day. Take a fun trip. Motivation. Pass it on from the Foundation for a Better Life at Values.com.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to America Meditating Radio. I'm your host, Sister Jenna, and we are enjoying our new face, new jingle, new everything. It is 2016. And one of our very close colleagues in the Brahma Kumaris was sharing that this is the year that she wants to make her complete personality a full system, a full cycle of awareness and consciousness. So, of course, we're going to wish her all the best. Everything that we're going through is from a soul level, and externally it reveals certain things that are happening energetically in the soul. The question is, are we always able to tap into that deep internal energy in order to shift what's going on so that we can shift what's happening on the outside? Stay tuned. We're going to have a wonderful conversation with Robert-Clancy, an entrepreneur and inspirational speaker, and he's going to be talking to us a little bit about the soul. Before we get Robert on, let's do what we do best here, and that is to go into a meditation. Breathe in deeply, relax, and just let it go. Om Shanti. The time that we choose to be aware doesn't necessarily require me to just sit and meditate. But even while I walk and move around, I can be in a meditative awareness, which is awareness of the soul, the original, eternal, imperishable being of light. For a little while, I'd like to invite you to be present, to be here, and to be now. Allow your mind to settle in the moment, to relax. This meditation is about awareness. It's about becoming aware of your original and eternal self. About connecting to your truth. Let go of your name. And observe yourself feeling nameless. go of your gender, to discontinue thinking you're a man or a woman. Let it go and observe how you would feel walking around without a gender. Let go of the role that you play and let go of the titles that you own. Observe how you're feeling as you are gradually letting go. Let go of your religion and put it aside just for now. And let go of your nationality and even the language that you're accustomed to. Imagine you have no name, gender, role, title, religion, nationality, or even a language. Ask yourself, how do you feel at this moment? And in this feeling, who would think of you and who would you think of? The Supreme Soul would think of you, and you, the liberated soul, would think of the Supreme. In this state of absolute freedom, I am truly who I am. A free, peaceful, pure, immortal, and eternal soul. Allow yourself to just be absorbed in this awareness. At this time,
lies that these wise men tell, lost in confusion of words they spell. But the truth is so simple, stares you right in the eye, and it's all in the message hold. Been touched by beauty and brought to my knees by the grace of your presence when I was in need. And I believe in love, and I believe in me, and I'm sending this message home. Got the angels beside me, children all around me, and the Father is at my feet. Got my fingers in the sockets, diamonds in my pockets, and the mother, she comforts me. The mother, she comforts me. Every time I lose my way and I feel I can't go Got the angels beside me, got the children around, got the angels beside me, children
Welcome back, everyone. That was Message Home by Bliss, and I hope you enjoyed the Letting Go track from my Off the Grid Into the Heart meditation CD. You're listening to America Meditating Radio, broadcast from the Meditation Museum in the nation's capital. Today we're proud to welcome Robert Clancy, who is an entrepreneur, inspirational speaker, ordained minister, and published author. Robert is co-founder and managing partner of Spiral Design Studio, one of the largest service graphic design and web development firms in the Northeast. Now, balancing his corporate commitments with his lifelong passion for humanity, Robert supports ongoing volunteerism within his business and his everyday life. Robert's first published book is entitled The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Soul, an evocative collection of inspirational stories and transcendental journeys, and his second book, Daily Downloads and Fortune Cookies from the Universe. It offers an inspirational thought to help to center your spirit and encourage your compassion for humanity. Today we welcome Robert Clancy to the America Meditating Radio Show. Hi, Robert.
Hello, Sister Jenna, and that was an absolutely beautiful meditation. Thank you so much for centering me today.
It's one of my favorite tracks on my Off the Grid Into the Heart CD. I'm so glad that you could join us today, especially for the new year, where we're just looking at amplifying very encouraging and engaging stories about how best to integrate our spiritual life with our basic everyday to-day living. So I understand that you've been very passionate about volunteering in service for others, and especially for younger folks. Has that always been in you, Robert, or is it something that sort of emerged in you as you were growing up?
That's a great question. I've actually looked very deeply into my own soul and psyche, and I think it's a path that I've always been on, and it's only grown over time. It's just I look at there's career and calling, and I think the calling part has always been this, and it was definitely made very clear to me at age 19 during my my first meditative experience.
Wow, at 19, huh? That's fantastic. You know, volunteering is so important because we're in a culture where we are sort of conditioned to take more than we give. And so when we actually begin to hear ourselves on the inside, where we're giving more than we're receiving, I think it's a very powerful life purpose. Now, you're the managing partner and co-founder of Spiral Design Studio. And do you run your company based on the inspirational teachings in your books, or how has that affected your employee and customer relations?
I think it's all part of it, and that's a great question as well. Really, how we bring that kind of compassion into everything that we do. And I feel, when we started the company, my wife and I sat down and said, we're taking things from the community by creating this company, and we can put things back into it. And we should always try to put in, 3 to 10-fold over what we're pulling out. And we've always sponsored nonprofit groups. There might be other organizations that could use our help. We had actually set aside $100,000 in design services and had a community by design project that we instituted several years back to adopt a nonprofit and bring their message and sharpen it up for the community to make them better so that they could better serve the community. And it's a great way to give back. So it's this reciprocity that I always find within everything. And I try to instill that also with our staff that, they're all agents of light, and you need to bring whatever they can do to help other companies, and they volunteer. And I'm actually at 10:30 today. I'll be heading over to a high school to teach junior achievement. So it's one way I can give back, and I've been doing that for the past 8 weeks.
Cool. I love that. Agents of light. I love that. It's so cool. You also are an ordained minister. I'm always curious, Robert. We have some of the most incredible guests on our show. And one of the things that I try to keep pulling out of all of us is how come we ended up choosing the life that we're living? Because everyone's really got a very purposeful life. And is it a choice, or is it just something that's preordained in our souls? So how did ministry come about? Because usually when you're into running after the money or making the goal, sometimes being in service is not always high on the list. What's going on in Robert's soul?
Well, both of those things. It's you said, is it something that's always been there, or is it a choice? And I think it's both. I think that you're given this path, and you have the choice. You can choose to walk it. And when I deviated from that path at age 19, that's when I had my wake-up call, and I'll talk a little bit about that in a few moments. But to become a minister was actually by accident. And I say that with, how I ended up there, because I never saw myself being a minister. And I became ordained because so many people asked me if I was. And I actually Googled it. I said, what is a minister? Because all these people think I am. And it said it's a spiritual leader for a community. And I said, yeah, that is what I'm doing. And then I thought, wow, if I'm a minister, I could perform weddings and do other interesting things. So I just went ahead and went through a process, applied. I had to write an essay and why and all these things. And then somebody just contacted me, and they heard me speak. They heard it was in my bio, and they said, we would like you to perform our wedding. Can you do this? And I said, well, it'll be my first wedding. And they said, well, it's our first one too. So it worked out. And I thought, what a beautiful place to be. Have a front row seat to that kind of love. And I've actually performed 4 weddings, and I have 2 more scheduled. I don't even advertise it. I just feel that the universe will bring me those who need me to help with this and secure their love in a special way. And I wouldn't trade it for anything. It was the most beautiful experience that I've had in performing these weddings.
Beautiful. Bringing folks together under a sort of an auspice of divinity is quite powerful. You seem to have a natural compassion and regard for the lives of other people. And I find the title of your first book, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Soul, to be quite interesting. How did you come up with the title, and what was behind the motivation of writing a book like that, especially in these times?
Well, there were a couple different things that brought about the title. One is the famous book, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. And I thought, wow, that's like an outward journey. I go, what about an inward journey? Hitchhiker's Guide to the Soul, like hitchhiking within yourself and on other people's souls. And in the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, it's kind of a humorous book where Arthur Dent, the main character, the protagonist in there, is laying in front of a plow. It starts out because they're going to tear his house down to make room for a highway. And he doesn't even realize that the Earth is about to be destroyed because the galactic forces are clearing that out of the way to make a galactic highway. And so it struck me at that point, like, he's really focused on the little picture, and there's a big picture that we need to be connected to. So it inspired the title and that journey for me through that. And so many people said, I have these interesting stories, and I really need to write them down. So I became an author by accident. And when I wrote it, I really wanted people to feel like they were in the moment and they can feel that emotion that I had. And it was quite an emotional experience for me just to write the stories. I actually cried several times. I lost it. I got very emotional when I started reliving these stories because I didn't realize how deeply they were connected to my soul.
Oh, wow. And as you realize how deeply they're connected to your soul, what was something that really highlighted itself for you to understand Robert a lot more?
Well, I think it stems from my divine experience at age 19 that I've been alluding to. And I had been on a path, I believe, from pretty much birth on. Even from age 6, I remember acts of compassion that I've done. And then at 19, it's almost like the entire world fell apart for me. I had lost friends to suicide. I had friends that were killed in horrific accidents. And my girlfriend at the time broke up with me. My grades plummeted at school, and I was a straight-A student up to that point. So all of these things just closed in, and it was like this darkness was all around me. And no one knew I was struggling. And it was this waitress in the restaurant I worked at the time. She gave me that 1,000-yard stare and said, I know what you're doing to yourself, and you need to stop because you're going to destroy yourself. Mm-hmm. And she was right. I mean, I was mixing deadly cocktails of, like prescription drugs, over-the-counter stuff, whatever, medicine cabinet, and just wanted to dull the pain.
Sure.
And she gave me this book on how to meditate and said, you need to do this. It was just a little pamphlet. It explained, the basics of meditation in the mind's eye. She said, read this and go home. She gently placed it in my hand, and I did. I meditated for about 3 hours, and I know this sounds, because I'm a programmer. I'm an analytical person. I'm very scientific. Mm-hmm. An angel had appeared before me during my meditation, and I know what I saw. It was there for 45 minutes, and it was the most beautiful experience. I mean, I wish I could share it with the entire world, and I'm trying. I kept this a secret for 30 years. I never even told my parents. Wow. And she touched me in the forehead at the end of this when she came in, and I was plugged into everything. It was like having an internet cord plugged into my head and only getting all the positive stuff on the internet for instantly. And after that, I talked to myself in the mirror, and I said, no one's ever going to believe what just happened. And I said, you're going to have to live the rest of your days knowing. So I no longer have faith. I know that sounds odd. I only have belief. I just live with the sureness that, you're always held. And I questioned for 30 years, saying, why me? Why was I selected? And I wake up with these beautiful words in my mind every day. And that's what the daily downloads and fortune cookies are. That's why I call them my downloads, because I'm the programmer, so I'm feeling like they're being downloaded into my mind, and they are. And I wake up with these incredible words, and I share them on my page, on my Facebook page, which is Guide to the Soul. And there's like 300,000 people following the posts, and it just grows every day. And I needed to share these. And I told my dad the night that my mom was going to pass away about the angel, and that was a couple of years ago. And I told him, you need to believe me because this is the God's honest truth. And he just smiled. He didn't say much. And the next day, my mom did pass away, as I thought. She was very sick at the time. And then he was smiling when he saw her body there. And he turned to my uncle, that was her brother, and said, Bobby, tell your Uncle Dan about the angel.
Was that angel still?
And I know. The name I was given was Gabriel, so I believe so. Yeah, I'd say cool. I had a big intervention there because she basically gave me an awakening, and although there were no words or sound, I was given the message, you need to work with youth, you're going to inspire people, And I was 19, so I'm looking at myself in the mirror and I'm saying, what does she mean I'm going to inspire youth? I am a youth.
Right, exactly. Well, I think for some of us that have those awakenings or gifts or moments of blessings or aha, I think sometimes for me it's always, what do you do with it afterwards? Because it's not like they come every day, but they come at particular moments in our lives to signal to us how great we really are if we listen, or if we come from the place of the soul rather than just live our lives just from what the external world keeps sending to us. Would you agree?
Absolutely. And I, because of my analytical side and my spiritual side are equally adept on that, I consider myself center-brained and center-souled. It's almost like I view everything here as almost an illusion. It's just a playground that you need to learn exactly what love is and how precious it is. And you wouldn't know it if you didn't experience negative things in your life. Because when you go to what I consider the other side, you only experience that kind of love. And it's on a level that you can't even fathom here. So, yes, absolutely, I agree with you 100%. That's what it's about.
Beautiful. What a wonderful conversation we're having today, folks. We're talking to Robert-Clancy, an inspirational speaker, entrepreneur, but just someone with a great heart. Anything you'd like to share with us about your upcoming book with the working title Soul Ciphers? Decoding a Life of Hope and Happiness. That's huge.
Sure. That is actually my fourth book. I do have a book of poetry that I've some of my downloads too. I wake up with these poems as well. But the Soul Ciphers book, I'm kind of combining my analytical and the spiritual. And I almost look at it that we can be reprogrammed in a way for happiness, for joy in our life, to get past difficulties. And so I have the inspirational stories, and I've really taken my time to refine them. It's, the writing, that's the thing, it's just practice. So you continue to write, hopefully your writing improves. I have a really good editor. And at the end of each story, I've added these decodes. And there are 3 of them for each inspirational story. So let's say there's a story on happiness, for instance, and you'll walk a journey with someone else through their soul, through their eyes. And at the end, I place these 3 decodes. And on one of them, a decode might be, do you smile when you're alone? And how important that is, because a lot of people haven't brought that to their consciousness. And,
I like that. Mm-hmm.
A smile is like this tool, and I had that experience with the angel, because when she initially came in, she wasn't smiling. She just had a straight expression, almost like the Mona Lisa. And then I thought of something funny, and that's when she smiled and nodded. And I thought, that's a tool we carry with us every day, and how often do we not use it? And we need to use it for ourselves, too. So that's the decode. So that's the beauty of the upcoming book, that it'll help people, give them tools to apply to their own life.
That's so beautiful. Robert, that's a fantastic way to end our show today. Thank you so much for the work that you're doing, especially with our youths. And I think on behalf of many of us here, we wish to offer you always the best, especially in 2016. With this kind of work, we always need to stay on top of our game internally if we're going to be of real service. So we thank you for that. Thank you very, very much.
Well, thank you for having me on, and the beautiful meditation at the beginning, because it really, as I said, it centered me for today.
Yeah, beautiful. Leave us with a favorite life quote and a website that our listeners can get a hold of you.
Sure. I will give you this quote. This is one from my Facebook page in the upcoming book. Did you know you're a beautiful masterpiece of celestial art? God sculpted your body and painted your portrait and forged your soul from the stardust. As with any masterwork, you may weather with age and get damaged a bit along the way. But doesn't that add to your beauty and mystique? Don't ever change who you are, for you're loved and cherished in heaven just the way you are. And my website is guidetothesoul.com, so I'd love for people to connect on there. There's all my social media links are there if you want to get some daily inspiration.
Robert Clancy, thank you so much for the gifts that you bring to our planet, and all the very best.
Thank you so much.
Take care. how beautiful was that conversation with Robert? And can you imagine an angel can touch down into your life at the age of 19, and the way that you continue to walk with that blessing or energy, And I love the fact that sometimes we get these experiences at that moment. You know, that moment in life where you're just about to go over the edge, and the better part of you wakes up and goes, nope, there's a lot more for you to do. Now look at Robert's life today. Please, everyone, don't lose hope too fast, especially when you're just about to reach the edge of your life. That's when that angel might touch down and really tell you, it's another way. There's another way to do this. I hope you've enjoyed our conversation with Robert Clancy today. And for more information, go to guidetothesoul.com. And I'm sure that you'd be able to get a lot of his gifts. Before I end the show, we need to go to our beautiful sister Geeta and hear what she's got for us on this incredible day of auspiciousness and inspirational soul talk. Sister Geeta?
Good day to you. It's a wonderful day to all of us. I'm wishing us the gift of peace and the reminder that we are indeed beautiful souls. The gift of peace thoughts for a peaceful world. Life is a game of forgetting and remembering. You are losing the game when you forget who you are and what you're doing here. Remember the false things of the past and what they did to you. When we're in this state, we are indeed losing the game. However, you are winning the game when you remember your true identity of peace. When you remember the one who is always peaceful and has unconditional love for you. When you forget the troubles of the past and move forward with the lessons learned. Observe what you remember during the day and what you forget during the day. Forget the past, beloved ones. It is gone. Don't worry about the future. You do not know it. Just perform good deeds in the present. Learn to live in the present and discover how full it is of peaceful moments. Have a contemplating day with the gift of peace. Om Shanti.
Beautiful as usual. Thank you so much. Remember, everyone, no one can take away your happiness unless you give them permission. We are here to love each other the same. Take care, everyone. We're going to end today's show with Sanatan Kaur. Ade, say Ade. Bye, everyone.
ध्यान की करे